What's up everyone, we're going to be going through the best WNBA player props on PrizePicks today. Now I did want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group, and as you guys see, we actually got 22 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. Now a lot of you comment wanting to see how many I got wrong, and I thought I'd show you in today's video. We actually got 0 picks wrong and got 22 right, which is a 100% win rate. Yes, we went perfect from the field. 100% win rate. So we're on a huge hot streak, but if you want to get a 100% win rate and get 22 picks right like me, win more bets and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord to meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon. Should be a link down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure to join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $680 just yesterday. Another member who won $375 for the 7th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, the link will be in the description, so go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group, and I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel the best bets and props, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. Also want to give a quick shout out to Ricardo Goza 2981 who said thanks, let's cash out today, let's go. Sure, shouts out to them, and if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below in this video and like it, and you can be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. Alright, so let's get straight into the first pick, and when it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. So the first pick we're going to talk about is none other than Alicia Gray, and this one is for 17.5 points, and this one is for less. Now, looking at Alicia Gray, we have actually seen her go on the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, you see on June 16th, faced off against Washington, where she had 32 points there. Then faced off on June 18th against New York Liberty, had 14 points. June 21st, faced off against Washington, had 18 points. Then June 23rd, faced off against Chicago, had 19 points. And then June 25th, faced off against Dallas and had 13 points. So, we have seen Alicia Gray go on the under in 2 out of the last 5 like we mentioned. However, when we look at the last 5 games, we see that 2 of those games did go on the under, but some of the games that she did go on the over, we actually didn't really go that high on the over. Like, it's not convincing enough to us. Now our average over the last 5 is also 19.2, so it is slightly above this line. But getting first into their matchup, obviously Atlanta do face off against Minnesota Lynx. Now, Atlanta Dream, Minnesota Lynx, both, pretty decent teams, as we have seen them do a very good start to the regular season. We do see Atlanta Dream currently ranked 4th in the actual WNBA. They are in the Eastern Conference, and they do have a record of 10 wins and 5 losses. They have a 66.7% win percentage. They are 6-1 at home, 4-4 from away, and also are currently on a 1-game losing streak. Now, looking at the other side, we do see that they face off against Minnesota Lynx. Now, Minnesota Lynx do have a record of 12 wins and 2 losses, 85.7% win percentage. They also have a 7-0 record from home, 5-2 away record, and also are currently on a 1-game losing streak. So, we definitely have seen Alicia Gray. He has gone on the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. Now, coming into this matchup, it's definitely going to be an exciting one, but we do know that Alicia Gray, when we look at the matchup defensively, we do know that Minnesota Lynx do rank first when it comes to points allowed. And that's a big reason why we do like the under for this situation here. We definitely see her going on the under due to that. And because of Minnesota Lynx being such a great defensive team, we are expecting someone like Alicia Gray to unfortunately struggle points-wise in this game. So, for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for the under for this situation here. When we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have her favored for the under as well. But a big reason why we do see that she has or are expecting her to go on the under is that, yes, she did have a massive game against Washington Mystics where she had 32 points. I do believe it's brought this line a little bit too high, that now there's a lot more value actually to go on the under. So for that reason, keep an eye out for the under for Alicia Gray. So Alicia Gray, 17.5 points for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're actually going to be talking about none other than Napheesa Collier. So, Napheesa Collier, great player, and this one is for 3.5 assists, and this one is for less. Now, looking at Napheesa, we actually have seen her go on the under in 1 out of the last 5 games. We did see June 4th faced off against Phoenix and had 5 assists there. Then June 9th faced off against Dallas, had 4 assists. After that, June 12th against Seattle, had 5 assists in that matchup. Then faced off against Los Angeles Sparks on June 15th and had 6 assists. Then against the Las Vegas Aces on June 18th had 1 assist. So we actually have seen, Napheesa Collier go on the under in 1 out of those 5 games. Now her average over the last 5 is actually 4.2 as well. Now, looking at this matchup, we do know Minnesota Lynx do face off against Atlanta. We most recently just talked about, this actual matchup. But looking at the matchup a little bit further, we do know that, we do see Atlanta Dream and Minnesota are both pretty top ranking teams. Atlanta Dream ranked 4th with a 10-5 record. Minnesota Lynx, number 1 spot with a 12-2 record. But looking at actually Atlanta Dream defensively, we do see defensive-wise, we do see that Atlanta Dream ranked 3rd when it comes to assists allowed. That's a big reason why we do very much like the under for this situation here. We definitely see someone like Napheesa Collier going on the under due to that situation. Now, when we look at this matchup even further, we also do see that, not only has, Napheesa Collier gone on the under in the most recent game, but we are definitely seeing that Napheesa Collier has had a little bit more of easier matchups over the last 5 when it comes to the assist category. And I think now, like we always mentioned, you do have to look at each and every single game as differently due to the the actual matchup itself. And coming into this next one, although she has had some easier matchup and has been able to go on the over, we do believe in this next one, since she does face off against Atlanta Dream, who do rank 3rd, we definitely are expecting the under for this one. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for the under. So Napheesa Collier, 3.5 assists for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're actually going to be talking about another great player, and that is none other than Skylar Diggins. So, Skylar Diggins, we all know, has been a great player for, Seattle Storm, and this one is a fantastic one for points as well for 18.5, and this one actually is for less. Now, looking at Skylar Diggins, we have actually seen her go on the under in 1 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, we see on June 15th, faced off against Golden State Valkyries, had 21 points there. Then June 18th, faced off against Los Angeles Sparks and had 15 points. Then June 21st, faced off against the Las Vegas Aces and had 24 points there. After that, had 20 points against New York Liberty on June 23rd. And then June 25th, faced off against Indiana and actually had 22 points. So we have seen Skylar Diggins go on the under in 1 out of the last 5, and her average over the last 5 is actually 20.4. So we have seen her go on the under, in one of those games. But looking at Seattle Storm, they do face off against Connecticut Sun. Now, it's definitely going to be an exciting matchup because we do know, looking at both of these teams, Seattle Storm do actually rank pretty well, as they rank 5th in the actual WNBA. Now, they are in the Western Conference, and on top of that, we also do know that they have a record of 9 wins and 6 losses. So they do have a pretty good record there. Now, when we look at, their matchup, Connecticut as well, Connecticut Sun on the other side do have a bit of a poor record, as they do have 2 wins and 13 losses. So they have a 13.3% win percentage there. Now, coming into this next game, we do know that Seattle Storm are currently 5-3 at home, 4-3 from away games, and are currently on a 1-game losing streak. And then Connecticut Sun are 1-6 at home, 1-7 from away, and are currently on a 7-game losing streak. So it's definitely been a bit tough there. But coming into this next one, it's definitely going to be an exciting one. But we do see that, when we look at Connecticut Sun defensively, we do know when it comes to points allowed, they do rank 12th. However, the reason why we still do like the under for someone like Skylar Diggins is that Skylar Diggins is actually a guard, and Connecticut Sun actually do a fantastic job at restricting points to the guard position. So for that reason, we do very much like the under for this situation here. We definitely still see someone like Skylar going on the under in this situation. Yes, she has had some, games she's been able to go on the over, but similar to, the last pick with Napheesa Collier, she has faced off against a little bit more easier teams when it comes to restricting points to the guard position. So the fact that this next matchup, it is obviously going to be against, a team like Connecticut Sun, who do poorly, yes, but actually do a fantastic job at restricting points from the guard position. We definitely see that being a big issue for her. So we are definitely liking the under for this one. When we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have our favorite for the under as well. So that works out in our favor there. So for that reason, Skylar Diggins, 18.5 5 points for less, I think is a fantastic pick. So as you all know, I do want to get these picks out to you as soon as possible, but PrizePicks is delayed with some of their lines. So here are a couple of players you should definitely watch out for when their lines drop. So the first player we're going to be talking about is none other than Naz Hillmon. So as you all know, Naz is a fantastic player from none other than Atlanta Dream, and she has done a fantastic job so far this season. We actually have seen her average 6.1 points, 4.6 rebounds, 2 assists, and also 0.4 steals. So it's definitely been a great job there. Now we look at someone like Hillmon, we have seen that, obviously this matchup of Atlanta Dream, they do face off against Minnesota Lynx. Now it is definitely going to be an exciting game between both of these teams, but looking at where both of these teams do rank, we did see Atlanta Dream come in at the 4th spot with a record of 10 wins and 5 losses. So they have a 66.7% win percentage. They are 6-1 from home and 4-4 from away games, and they are currently on a 1-game losing streak. So it's definitely been a bit of a struggle there. Now, coming into this next one, it's definitely going to be an exciting game because we do know that they face off against Lynx, who do actually have the #1 spot in the WNBA. So Minnesota Lynx do rank #1. They have a 12-win, 2-loss record, 85.7% win percentage. They are 7-0 at home and 5-2 from away games. They are currently on a 1-game losing streak. So when it comes to Naz Hillmon, we are definitely expecting in this matchup for someone like Naz, in this matchup to try to do her best. But when we look at the stat line, this is what we are expecting because we do know Minnesota Lynx do rank 1st in points allowed. They rank 2nd in assists allowed. And when it comes to rebounds allowed, they do rank 5th. And for that reason, we do very much like the under for this situation here. Now, don't get me wrong, Naz Hillmon is a great player, but with the way that Minnesota Lynx do like to play, we definitely are expecting her to go on the under due to the fact that Minnesota Lynx have just done a fantastic job all season at restricting points, rebounds, and assists. Now, obviously, it is definitely, interesting to see because Minnesota have not only just been a great defensive team, but what we also are expecting is that Naz Hillmon, she does play for Atlanta Dream. She doesn't have the highest usage rate in this team. And for that reason, we are expecting someone like Naz to experience most of the decrease in her usage rate out of other players in this Atlanta team. Obviously, Atlanta have stars, and already since Minnesota do a great job defensively, we are expecting, players like Naz and other role players to have a massive decrease to their usage rate, to give their usage rate up to the actual stars of this Atlanta team to see if they can get this win. But looking at Naz over the last 5 games and her history over the last 5, we have seen on the 16th faced off against Washington Mystics, had an 89-56 victory. Now she had 10 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists. Then faced off against New York Liberty with an 86-81 loss, had 4 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist there. After that, faced off again on the 21st against Washington Mystics, had a 92-91 victory, had 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 0 assists. Then Chicago Sky on the 23rd had a 93-80 victory with 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. Then against Dallas had a 68-55 loss, had 4 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists there. So we definitely have seen Naz at times do well, other times not really too well. So that's why coming into this next one with the matchup they do face off again, which is Minnesota Lynx, we are expecting the under for this situation here. Now, I think points and rebounds is definitely where you may want to have a little bit more focus on, not due to any sort of specific reason, but just due to the fact that since Naz does have a higher usage rate in both of those departments, we may actually see her, actually have a line out for those 2 departments. So, since she does have a bigger usage rate in those 2, we definitely see that happening. If there isn't a line out for assists, there's definitely still possibility there, but we are just expecting more likely a points and rebounds line to come out. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for the under. As I always mention, keep an eye out for the line. If the line is too close to our averages, then definitely look to go on the under. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Erica Wheeler. So as you all know, Erica Wheeler, great player from none other than Seattle Storm, and she has done a fantastic job so far this season, averaging 11.7 points, 3.1 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and also 0.8 steals. So we definitely have seen her do a great job, throughout the regular season so far. Now, this is definitely going to be an exciting game because we do know that Seattle Storm have themselves a great matchup against Connecticut Sun. So, Connecticut Sun and also, Seattle Storm, two big teams in a sense that, they have definitely tried their best, or big market teams, but one of these teams haven't really done too well. But looking at Seattle Storm, first of all, we do know Seattle Storm do rank 5th in the WNBA. They have a record of 9 wins and 6 losses. So they actually have a 60% win percentage. They are 5-3 from home, 4-3 from away, and are currently on a 1-game losing streak. So it's definitely been a bit of a struggle there. Now, when we look at, their matchup, we also do see that Connecticut Sun have been a little bit tough because they do actually rank 13th, which is the last spot in the WNBA. So they have the worst record in the WNBA. They have 2 wins, 13 losses, a 13.3% win percentage, 1-6 from home, 1-7 from away, and are also currently on a 7-game losing streak. So it's definitely been a very, very tough battle for Erica Wheeler. Now, coming into this matchup, we do very much like it because we do know Erica Wheeler and Seattle Storm face off against Connecticut. Now, looking at Connecticut Sun defensively, we do know that they rank 12th when it comes to points allowed. When it comes to assists allowed, we also do know that they rank 9th. And then rebounds allowed, we also do know Connecticut Sun rank 13th. So they rank very, very poor in all 3 categories. Now, for coming into this pick, we do very much like the over for this situation here. This one's just kind of a no-brainer to us. It's very evident that Connecticut Sun are just such a poor defensive team that we are expecting someone like Erica Wheeler to be able to take advantage of this. As we all know, when we look at someone like, Erica Wheeler and the Seattle Storm, she's definitely played some pretty big games and has definitely remained in a very high usage rate sort of manner. I think that will continue on into this next game, and she has had a little bit of the hot hand, and we definitely will see that continue on into this next game. Now, looking at, someone like Erica Wheeler and the matchup against Connecticut, when also looking at the last 5 games, we do see some pretty interesting stat lines. We saw that they faced off against Golden State Valkyries on actually the 15th, had a 76-70 loss in that matchup, had 6 points, 2 rebounds, and 5 assists in that matchup, so that was a big one there. After that, they also faced off against LA Sparks on the 18th and had a 98-67 victory, and she actually had 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists there. So we did see on the 21st, faced off against Las Vegas Aces, had a 90-83 victory. Now, she actually had 17 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists in that matchup. Then on the 23rd, faced off against New York Liberty. Now, obviously, New York Liberty are a great team, but they were able to get the win 89-79. So that was definitely a big performance from her there. And then after that, we also do see that faced off against Indiana in the most recent game on the 25th, had a 94-86 loss. 20 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists there. So, it's definitely been a big matchup for Erica Wheeler over the last 5 games, but she has been able to perform very well. So she has had a little bit of the hot hand. We definitely see that continuing on into this next game. No doubt about it. So I definitely would keep an eye out for Erica Wheeler. I see a lot of value to see her go on the over in any of these sort of categories. I don't think you need to focus on any. I think points, rebounds, and assists all definitely have the capability for that. And when you also look further, we also do see that the matchup against Connecticut Sun, such an easy matchup. Unfortunately, no disrespect to Connecticut, but we definitely see her going on the over there. So keep an eye for her line. If the line is under her averages, then definitely look to go on the over. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Chloe Bibby. So, as you all know, Chloe Bibby, great player from none other than Golden State Valkyries, and she's done a fantastic job so far this season, averaging 8.7 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and also 1 steal. So, we definitely have seen her do a great job for Golden State Valkyries so far this season. Now, Golden State Valkyries do have themselves an interesting matchup against Chicago Sky. Now, looking at both of these teams ranking-wise, we do know Golden State Valkyries do rank 7th in the WNBA. They are in the Western Conference, and they have a 7-win, 7-loss record. A 50% win percentage right now, and they are currently on a 1-game losing streak. So, they are hoping to change that around. Now, coming into the matchup, they do face off against Chicago Sky. And looking at Chicago Sky, we do see them rank 11th in the actual WNBA. They are in the Eastern Conference and they have a record of 4 wins and 10 losses, a 28.6% win percentage. So they currently have a record of 2-4 at home, 2-6 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So they are hoping to push it and try to be able to get another win under their belt. Now, coming into this next matchup, it's definitely going to be an exciting one because we do know that Chicago Sky defensively, we do see that they do actually rank when it comes to points allowed. They rank 13th. When it comes to assists allowed, they rank 10th. And then rebounds allowed, we also know that the Chicago Sky rank number 1. So they are a great rebounding team. Do not get me wrong there. Now, when it comes to someone like Chloe Bibby, we do actually like the over for this situation here. However, strictly just for points. Now, when we look at Chloe Bibby, we tend to see her usage rate be a little bit more in points than any other category. And since Chicago Sky do a great job defensively when it comes to rebounds, I probably would highly stay away from that and just focus strictly just on points. Now, like I mentioned before, Chicago Sky rank 13th when it comes to points allowed. So they rank very, very poorly, and that's why we are expecting someone like Chloe Bibby to be able to take advantage of this and go on the over there. Now, looking at her last couple of games, she has played 3 recently. We did see on the 20th faced off against Indiana Fever, had an 88-77 victory. Now, she actually had 12 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist in that matchup. Then on the 23rd, faced off against Connecticut, had an 87-63 victory with 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists there. Then faced off against New York Liberty, had an 81-78 loss with 3 points, 2 rebounds, and 0 assists there. So we definitely have seen Chloe Bibby do a fantastic job. Now, when it comes to Chloe as well, you know, obviously some of the most recent games, one of them was actually she only played 4 minutes. So that's one of the reasons why she had lower stats in that game. But when you look at the other 2, you definitely saw her be able to beat her points line pretty easily. And this is based just off averages. Obviously, her average is 8.7 and she was able to score over on both of those games. So we are expecting, you know, similar to this situation here, as we are expecting her to go on the over, especially against a matchup like Chicago Sky. So keep an eye out for her line, but like I said, strictly focus on points. If the line is under her averages, then definitely look to go on the over. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Sami Whitcomb. So, as you all know, Sami Whitcomb, great player from none other than the actual Phoenix Mercury team. Now, she's done a great job so far this season, averaging 9.4 points, 3.8 rebounds, 2.4 assists as well. So, we definitely have seen her do a great job. Also, 0.7 steals, just to remind you all. Now, looking at this matchup, it's definitely going to be an exciting one because Phoenix Mercury do face off against New York Liberty. Now, these are some tough teams, some tough powerhouse teams going at it in this game. It's definitely going to be an exciting one, but like I mentioned, looking at both of these teams ranking wise, we do know that Phoenix Mercury do rank 3rd in the actual WNBA. They are in the Western Conference. They have 11 wins and 4 losses. They have a 73.3% win percentage, which is great to see. They also have, are 6-2 from home, 5-2 from away, and are currently on a 5-game win streak. So it's definitely been all uphill for, you know, this Phoenix Mercury team. Now, looking at their matchup, like I mentioned, they do face off against none other than New York Liberty. And looking at New York Liberty, we do know Liberty do rank 2nd in the WNBA. Now, they are in the Eastern Conference, but we also do see that they have an 11-3 record, and we also do see they have a 78.6%, win percentage. Now, they are 6-1 from home, 5-2 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak as well. So, we definitely have seen both of these teams do very well. Now, obviously, Phoenix Mercury are having a little bit of a hot streak type game. So that's why we are definitely liking, their hot streak, and they are hoping to continue that into this next one. But looking at New York Liberty defensively, we do see Liberty ranking 3rd in points allowed. We also do know that they rank 8th in assists allowed, and when it comes to rebounds allowed, we also do see that Liberty ranked 12th. Now, when we look at Sami Whitcomb, she is a fantastic player. Now, coming into this game, we do actually like the over for this situation here, but strictly just for rebounds and assists. We definitely see someone like Sami Whitcomb being able to take advantage of this. Now, obviously, Phoenix are a great team, and they definitely have had a little bit of a hot streak as of lately, but what we also have seen is just a lot of usage rate from Sami over the last couple of games, and we are expecting that to continue into this next matchup. Now, Obviously, New York Liberty, like I mentioned, they rank very, very low in rebounds and assists, and that's why we do or are expecting Sami to be able to take advantage of this and be able to go over on those two categories. Now, when we look at her last 5 games, we definitely have seen some pretty big games from her. We saw her face off against Seattle, had an 89-77 loss, had 7 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists there. Then on faced off against Dallas on the 12th, had 8 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists in that matchup. Then faced off against the Aces on the 16th, had 18 points, 2 rebounds, and 0 assists. Then on New York Liberty, faced off against them on the 20th, and he had 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. So just to quickly, reiterate that was against New York Liberty. We saw her actually go over on her rebounds and assists. Now, yes, she did go over on the points, but I do believe, like I always mentioned, there are going to be outlier games. She was able to get the better of them, but I think more strategically, I think rebounds and assists is definitely where you want to focus on, which is why she was able to beat her line, in that game, or the most recent game against New York Liberty there. And then looking at the last game against Chicago Sky, 107-86, victory. And she actually had 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists there. So it's definitely been fantastic. And when we look at Sami Whitcomb, we also do see that her usage rate has remained high, and we should expect that in this next game as well. So keep an eye for Sami Whitcomb's line. Like I mentioned, rebounds and assists is definitely where you want to focus on. If line is under our averages, then definitely look to go on the over.